Yes. Welcome everybody, welcome everybody, welcome all of you. Ndiyanamkela. Welcome all of you. Ndiyanibulisa, ndiyanamkela nonke bazakes ezindaweni zonke nihleli niphulaphuleni kuzo. Umhlobo wenu is here, your friend is here. Yes, my name is Jonks everybody. Gama lami ndingujongile. Kwaba bangandazi. Yes, there it is. My name is Jonks everybody. Nonke namkelekile. You can come in and have this wonderful time with me in this place. Yes, it's been a while. Sigqibelene Monday in this place. So we are here one more time. Bazalwane bam. So we are here for a simple thing, bazakes. Silapha ngento nje elula. The word of the Lord. Oh my God, I'm trying my best to remain calm. I'm trying my best to remain calm, because it is intimidating to switch these lights on. It is intimidating to switch these cameras on and come over here and speak to you guys. But the only thing that encourages me is that I'm only here to say what the Lord has said in His word. I'm not here for my own stuff. I'm just here just to share of the word of the Lord. I'm just here to share kafuchane. I'm just here to be brief in this conversation. This conversation is about discerning the voice of Christ. Interesting topic. Not sure if I'm going to be able to do justice to this interesting topic because of the time. I know it's late at night, but thank God it's Friday. Thanks God it's Friday. Yes, we are here ke bazalwane ngaphandle kokumosha ixesha. Niyazi, for the previous shows we had here besithetha sijonga incwadi kaJohn chapter 10. Besijonga incwadi kaJohn, that chapter, that exciting chapter 10. So we read chapter 10 up to verse number 15, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think we'll read the whole book of John, though this conversation I embarked on from John. It's inspired by what we were doing last year in my cell group. We were dealing with this book John last year. So I just decided to come ke ndizoshare nani kule ncwadi ka John. Specific this chapter was chapter number 10. So it's my favorite chapter in that book of John. So ke ngaphandle komosha ixesha ke bazekisi sizawujonga kafuchane, because sifundile kwincwadi kaJohn, and there are things that I have noted. There are things that were exciting to take note of. So nasifunda le ncwadi kaJohn, I found izinto ezimbalwa as interesting. uYesu phaya uthetha ngokuthi I know my sheep and my sheep know me. Aphinde athi my sheep know my voice. Athi I know my sheep and I call them by name. So to me, all these phrases, all these statements they are saying something to me. Oh, okay, okay, okay. If he says he knows me by name, if he says I know him, I know Jonks, it means also Jonks should know Christ. So this speaks of a relationship. You know, Mazix, we talked about these things last time we were here, but I just wanted to come over and highlight them again because they are important. They are important. That is why I decided to come over again and highlight them because of their importance. Because of their importance. So sibonile ke uYesu ethetha ngokufa kwakhe. He was speaking and talking about his death, and we have seen ukuthi his death was driven by the deep love he has for us. His death was driven by this unspeakable love he has for us. That's what we have read. That's what we have discovered as we were looking in that chapter. We have seen that ukuthi the love he has for us has driven him to give his life, because he says, I give my life so that I can take it back again. For the sheep, I lay down my life so that I can take it back again. That's what he says. And this simply shows how deep his love is for us. This simply shows that his love is true and his love is real. Anybody out there who has never experienced true love, man, when you meet Christ, you get to experience that true love. You get to experience the real love. So, ushilo ke, as you know, sifundile, and if you're coming to this episode, go to the previous episodes where we were speaking about chapter 10, and we only read about half of chapter 10. And it's amazing that only that half of chapter 10 we can come up with so many episodes, which simply means and shows what Izwi is that powerful. Izwi is that much relevant. It is relevant. It is exciting. Really, it is sharper than any two-edged sword. So, uYesu extended his love to his followers, that is us. And this love that he extends to us is the same love that he shares with his Father. It's the same love he shares with his Father. So, let's go check only 3 verses, Let's go check only 3 verses. Let's go check only 3 verses. Only 3 verses. Then we call it a night. Let's go check only 3 verses, Then from there we call it a night, because I'm not here to spend a lot of time. I'm just here to share a few things. just here to share only very few things, Wazix. So I want us to look to share verse number 4. We're going to share verse number 4, we share verse number 9, and we share from verse number 11. Then we call it a night. I'm not going to keep you for that long. I'm not going to keep you for that long. Okay, verse number 9, verse number 4, I mean to say. Verse number 4, he says, when he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. Because they know his voice. His sheep follow him because they know his voice. So when I came to this part, that's where I asked myself, oh my God, Jesus says we know his voice. He says we know his voice. Then I asked myself, do we really know his voice? Having seen things that people are doing, having seen and heard things, izinto abazithethayo bezithetha egameni, saying these things egameni, besebenzisa eligama. Do we really know his voice? Bazix. I've got a clip here. I've got a voice. I've got a voice note here. I just want us to listen from.
Manibona umfundisi eqhamuka lapho kungcono baleka. Uza nesifuba, ha uyaphi nesifuba? Uyaphi yiko sithukwa nje. Ngoba nave niyashesha ukuza nezifuba. How man of God, sisukume brother. How man of God uyaphi? Maqhamuka indoda kaNkulunkulu, run away baleka. Protect the anointing.
My God. Hey, isixhosa sithi kuyahlekwa noma kufikwe bazalwane. This, when I heard this for the first time, I was so angry. I was so confused. I was like, really now? Really now? This man says, when you meet or when you see your pastor, run as far as you can. Run away. Don't come any way closer. The shepherd. Remember, our pastors, our leaders, they look over our souls. iBhayibheli lisho njalo. And as we have learned, go chapter 10 John, we see that there is a relationship between the shepherd and the sheep. We know our leaders are our under shepherds. These are the people who are responsible for our well-being. These are the people that we expect to learn a lot from them about the kingdom life. These are the people we're learning from about this life. These are the people that we expect from them, the discipleship that shapes us. But man, when you see most of the things that are being said, then you start to see, you begin to see that actually, we need to hang on to Christ. We need to learn to discern his voice. So how do we discern his voice? How do we discern his voice? So, discernment yethu in his voice depends, depends on how I'm going to say something that this man said we should not do. He says you should not be familiar with the man of God. But I'm going to say to you, Aziz, you need to be familiar with Christ. You need to be familiar with his word for you to understand how Jesus conducted himself, how Jesus dealt with situations, how he conducted himself among these unbelieving Pharisees, among these people who were rejecting him, how he conducted himself, and how he stood on his word. You can never be able to discern the voice of Christ if you don't have that close knit relationship with him. If you don't have that close relationship with him that he speaks about in verse 4, when he says, when he has brought out all his own, when he has brought out all his own, he goes ahead of them. Yeah? Did you see this? He goes ahead of them. He is the one who leads. We follow in his footsteps. He takes the leading role and we follow. And we follow. So when he leads, he says he goes ahead and the sheep follows. And the sheep follows because they know his voice. They can identify his voice among many other competing voices, because there are so many competing voices. There are so many competing voices. But in those competing voices, we don't get confused. In those competing voices, we don't get misled because we know his voice. He says that. So, are we able to discern his voice, Aziz? Are we able to discern his voice? If we don't, if we not, it means we are not in that neat relationship with him. It means we don't have that relationship that we need to have with him. That relationship that we need to have with him so that we can be able to get used to his voice, how he talks. Then these competing voices that are so many won't have a place in our lives. when we have this close relationship with him. Because once we become familiar with his voice, with his word, then we are able to can tell that now this voice I'm hearing is not the voice of Christ. This voice I'm hearing is not the voice of a true shepherd. A true shepherd cannot speak like this. You are able to discern that because you are familiar with the voice of the good shepherd. So growing in discernment begins with reading and digesting the words of Jesus. It begins with reading, studying, getting deeper, and familiarize yourself with the word of the Lord. I know the man that we heard, the voice note we heard says, don't get familiar with the man of God. When you see the man of God, run away. Huh? That's what this man says. But what we have learned from this book of John chapter 10 is that the sheep and his master are inseparable. The good master and his sheep, their relationship is in that level that they are inseparable. Once this shepherd says something, his sheep respond to what the shepherd has said, because there is this relationship which is constantly growing, consistently growing. Huh? So we need to be able to discern. We need to be able to discern. We need to be able to discern. So let's quickly run to verse number. Let's quickly run to verse number 9. Let's quickly run to verse number 9. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. They will come in and get out and find pasture. We know what pasture speaks of. If you don't know, go to the previous episodes that we dealt with last time. Verse number 11, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. So we speak of the nature of this love, the love that has no limit. So since his love has no limit, he has no problem. In fact, he himself chose to lay down his life for his sheep. Nobody took his life. He gave his life for the sheep. So there is no way you can run away from him. There is no way you can run away from him, knowing exactly how much he loved you, knowing exactly how much he cares for you, knowing exactly how much he gave for you, giving his life for us. How can we run away from him? We don't run away from him. We run towards him. We always run towards him. We should be running towards him each and every time because of what he did. This is how we can be able to discern his word, his voice. This is how we can be able to distinguish his voice from these many competing voices. Yes, many competing voices. There are so many competing voices. So it should be the sheep's instinctive recognition of their shepherd's voice. It should be. This should be instinctive. Identifying and recognizing his voice should be instinctive, because this is how we live our lives. We live our lives learning his character in his word, learning his character in his own word. So people should recognize and respond to his authentic voice. His sheep should not have a problem to recognize his voice, not only recognize and respond to his voice. Respond to his voice, man. We're about to close. We're about to close. We're about to close. So we know ukuthi we are able to recognize his voice because we know his voice based on his word. We know his character based on his word, because we have this intimacy, this relationship, this intertwined relationship we have with him, this deep relationship we have with him, which makes it possible for us to identify his voice from the voices of the competing voices, because there are competing voices, brothers. There are competing voices that want to be authoritative, and yet they are not. We know it's only his word that is authoritative. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else, brothers. So I just came over here tonight to share only on these. To share only on these 3 verses. My intention is to encourage all of you, is to encourage each and everyone to be able to identify or to discern the voice of Christ. And what is going to help us to be able to discern the voice of Christ is to familiarize ourselves with his word. Familiarize ourselves with his word, with his voice in his word, and with his voice in prayer. In prayer. Prayer and the word. Prayer and the word will cause us to be able to discern his voice. So this is why I came over tonight. I came over here to just share on this. Discerning the voice of Christ. Discerning the voice of Christ. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. And this was my time. Until we meet again, me and you, next time in this favorite corner of ours, please take good care of yourselves and remember, God cares and loves you. Bye now.